Hey guys, no movie review this week. Well, actually, we are doing two movie reviews. We've got an early one at Spider-Man and Bumblebee, but we're watching that on Saturday. So for the Thursday showing, we watched the Game Awards this year. That's right, 2019, the Video Game Awards. Geoff Keighley threw this thing, as he always does every year. And if y'all don't know, I have some history with the Game Awards.
This year, by Mountain Dew, Burger King cheeseburgers, the fries that come with that, Blue Mountain Steak, Gamefly, GameStop, Orbitz, Prince of Persia, The Glorious Bastards, Tron. All right already!
Yeah, so the first time the Game Awards, when I reviewed it, it didn't go so well. I kind of shit all over it.
Lost. This isn't where I'm supposed to go. Best performance by a human female.
What the f***? Megan Fox? Megan Fox. Performance. What the hell happened to Claudia Black as Chloe Fraser from Uncharted 2?
I found a lot of problems with the show.
It's really a thrill for me to be here to give out the award for the best individual sports game. Mostly because
And then we visited, Geoff actually sent me an invitation after that, and we visited the Game Awards the next year to try to get an interview, get him on camera, ask him some of the questions from you guys.
Basically, a lot of people, I feel, think that the VGAs have turned into maybe just one big advertisement, one big marketing thing, and essentially a big joke. But year after year, it seems the VGAs seem to get better, and I just want to make sure that that consistently happens.
I'd never done interviews before. I was so green. This is when I first started my show. I had no business in an interview environment, and Geoff is really good at interviews, and he handled me quite well.
That is improvement. That's improvement. Okay. Moving along. Basically, why? Geoff. This is a worse environment to conduct an interview in. Essentially.
So at first I was like, screw this guy. I'm never talking to him again. He is my enemy. And I was mad at him. He was mad at me, by the way. And I never mentioned it again. I think I did one more review of a VGX or something like that. But we met up at E3, and this is it's a funny story. I've told this at conventions before. So we're after the way we left it there, I thought he did me dirty. He thought I did him dirty. But at E3, they close at 6. The announcement's going off. Everybody get the hell out. And I was doing interviews. I did like 19 interviews myself, running around. I was sweating my ass off. I was putting all my equipment because I was one-man crew there at the 2K booth, behind there where they've got like all the chairs and the drinks and sodas. And I hear somebody come up behind me, goes, "Angry Joe." And I turn around and it's Geoff Keighley. He's like, "Angry Joe." And I was like, oh shit, because I had talked all this shit about him. I don't even, it's so long ago, I don't even remember exactly how it went. But it essentially went in a way where it was just me and him. There was nobody around. And, I thought he wanted to fight me. But, he did it. He just wanted to talk. And and he was like, and then we just started talking. I forget exactly. It's been so long. And this is all old news, by the way, because we've done events afterwards and we've realized that we're the same person, just other sides of the same coin. But he did me dirty. I did it. I just, but we've both learned from that. We both made mistakes. When it was just two probably big egos at the time clashing with each other. And, we laugh about it now because of just the situations, and how it turned out. But after we were starting to get a little bit of an argument there. He's like, "I thought you were shitting on my wedding. Well, I didn't appreciate the way you edited it." And I was like, "Well, I was just trying to ask questions and do this and that. And, we need to improve the show." And but we started to talk more, and I was like, well, and he was like, well, why don't you submit your feedback to me? Because here's the thing, no matter how much, your critic, he could have just been like, fuck this guy, I'm never talking to him again. I'm not going to give him a platform. I'm never going to speak to him again and see him again. But no, he asked for he was like, well, send your criticisms and send the things that you think that would improve the show, and I will implement them, because, you know, he was a producer of the show. So he gave me his email, I gave him my email, and ever since then, we've like exchanged emails and stuff from time to time. We don't talk on a regular basis, but from time to time, we'll exchange emails. And from those, and then meeting each other at many events, YouTube events, E3 events, PAX events, or places that he's at, we will be at the same bars, or we'll be at the same place. And I got to know Geoff behind the scenes. And at first we became frenemies, and we'd make fun of it when we appeared on shows and things like that. But now I actually consider Geoff a friend and a good guy. If you really talk with him, you really sit down. And I was like, shit, all that stuff was twisted way out of proportion, and we just got off on the wrong foot with each other, and we could be doing way better together, just giving feedback, submitting to each other, and it was freaking awesome. Because he was fascinated with the YouTube, because YouTube was coming up real hard around that time, and so he really wanted to integrate that into the stuff as it's moving forward. He's like that, and if you don't like something, you can tell him, and he might implement. In fact, send me it, and I can send it to him if there's something that you didn't like in the show, this year's show, which we're about to talk about, and I guarantee you he'll read it, and he'll possibly put it in there and make the show even better. If you really want the best Game Awards show, then talk to him and do that. From a guy who I've rubbed shoulders with some of these corporate, entities, and I'll get blacklisted or all this. He daily runs this fine line. And where Geoff really got a lot of respect from me is when he went to bat for Kojima on the Game Awards. If you don't know that, Konami really treated Kojima, in my opinion, with some disrespect and handled that whole situation poorly, especially at the Game Awards. It came to head at the Game Awards, and Geoff was like, he totally backed Kojima on it. And you could tell because he's been friends with Kojima for a very long time. And so, like, when he called that out, and he called out Konami, essentially, I had some newfound respect for him. But even before then, I thought that Geoff knew how to run his stuff. And he has to walk that line. That's why he has that PR smile. Because how else do you manage to get, this year, the heads or very important people of the three major companies, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, on the same stage with each other celebrating games? So this year's Game Awards, as a review, we'll start right away. I think this year's Game Awards has vastly improved from the last time we've seen Game Awards, from when I reviewed it, 8 years ago. This is all old news. And it's gotten progressively better. There have been down years and up years since then. But, okay, so, of course it's gotten better, because that was back in the day when the ads were in your face. It was like, Mountain Dew Award fueled by the caffeine best independent action game or something.
Best independent game fueled by Mountain Dew.
Best independent game fueled by Mountain Dew? What, did Mountain Dew make those games? Do they deserve credit for all of those games? Nice. What if they hate Mountain Dew?
And it was just in your face. It was out of control. And then best voice actor, best performance of all video games, Megan Fox. And that, of course, I'm going to have problems with that at that time. And even, I don't know if this was before Geoff took over, but there were like porn stars presenting. There were people who were up there that didn't give a shit about games. And we've gotten, and you can look that up if you want. I think it was Madden or King Kong, and stuff like King Kong. Okay, so anyways, it has gotten progressively better ever since those days. And I don't know if that was pre-Geoff or during Geoff's takeover, but now Geoff literally has the power, and he puts this thing together. Now you're saying, Joe, right now probably be like, oh, Joe, that was the fucking cringiest thing ever. How can you defend this thing? And it's because there are other Game Award shows out there, but this, in my opinion, is one of the big ones, the one that looks like the, Oscars and sort of simulates some of the other, type shows, and he tries to put on entertainment, and that's what I appreciate about it. And so, and so, yes, there are cringe. There's massive cringe in this one as well.
Oh wow, what's this? This kind of looks familiar. Does it now. Booyah, Grandma. Booyah.
Oh, man,
Let's check out the world premiere.
If you're an internet personality or a gaming personality like Geoff, he can dish it out. He can take it. He knows what it's like. And so he did. There are some definitely cringy moments. But what I think separates this one from that is that the advertisements are in between the awards. They're not integrated into the award. He has to get money to get these shows together. So when you think about it, that this is essentially Geoff putting all these people together, executive producing this thing himself, utilizing his relationships with people that he meets. And I've been on his YouTube show at E3, and that's why I'm saying this, because I've seen this stuff with my own eyes. I'll go there. He has me on his show, which I'm so grateful for. I don't know if I want to share this story, but something happened in my life and in my family where I was very down. We got some really bad news about somebody I care about more than anything in the world, and but at that time, Geoff invited me on the show. He emailed me, and he had me on there. I was on the YouTube show. It made me feel good, reinvigorated me. I was compensated for being on the show. I took that money and I was able to take it and bring it back to my family and put it into the medical bills that we were dealing with at the time. And for that, I will be eternally grateful, and I always will appreciate that. But at that time that I was there, I was able to see how he works, how he brings in the big wigs, how he talks to them, just that whole process, and how he has to walk that fine line in order to get these people to continue to come to his shows. So he brings that to the Game Awards, and that's how he's able to get these people together. So when you look at it like that, consider it's like AngryJoe, right? Consider, instead of Geoff Keighley, think it's AngryJoe putting together the Game Awards. It would be a fucking disaster. I can tell you that right now. I would not have the relationships, the manpower, the know-how, the producer credits, and all this stuff in order to put the award show together. So while the Game Awards is definitely cringy and there are crappy moments in it, I just think that he does a good job when he puts it all together. So let's talk about... It's better, right? But there are plenty of moments. So I've got a list here of why do we watch the Game Awards? Well, obviously, it's a celebration of gaming. And because I'm so close to gaming and year in, year out, every freaking day, my life is about gaming, I am really into the celebration of games, to putting faces with developers who I don't get to meet at E3. So it's fascinating for me to see these people, put faces with names and stuff for people that I haven't met at E3. So I love the celebration of games. I love all that stuff. But some gamers don't give a shit about that, right? If you want to get down to the brass tacks, they want their best, they want their favorite games to win, but they also want to see the world premieres and the game trailers. And I think at this point, people know that it's almost like an advertisement for the games that are coming out. And I don't mind that, so as long as the games are cool, right? And it's like E3. And you know what sucks is E3 seems to be getting smaller and smaller every year. I mean, recently Sony announced that they're pulling out of the next E3. It's like, what the... Am I even going to go to E3 next year? But, so you have a show like this that will show us some of this. So... we'll split it up into the, games and the game trailers. So the game trailers, we've got the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. The show started off rocky, right? So you got that. Then there's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Like, we were looking at this, and it kind of looked at it like a mobile game. And I was like, wait a minute. Could this be like the next, Alliance game, in Marvel Alliance where you used to play? They weren't the best games, but they were still fun with friends. I don't know, but the camera angles in this game just make it look more like a mobile, so I'm really suspect on this one. And then the next trailer was Scavengers, which really didn't show us much. The world looked cool, and I'm hoping that the loot is cool in it. It's a survival game. And it needs to be really cool loot. Is it free to play? Is it a $60 title? We don't know about that stuff right now, at least not from what was shown there. Then it moved on to Hades. This says you got your emo guy, and he's going out, father, you know, and he goes to do some other things. Great looking artwork, and but it just doesn't seem like a game for us. Then it moved on to Ancestors. So this was first probably the you know, like a heavy hitter. It looked like an open world. The monkeys are running around. You get to go way back millions and millions of years and play the birth of humanity. And I think it's probably going to end right up before, like Lucy, I think they were saying, the time period. I liked it. I don't think Alex or Joe liked it very much. Africa. Holy shit, we are starting at the beginning of humanity, maybe even before then. Oh my god. Oh shit. That's not how you start.
You died.
Ah!
Dark Souls.
Fucking Mowgli. The Jungle Book. And then they showed off Anthem. So Anthem is a big one. But here, once again, I'm starting to worry about Anthem. Okay, so EA is in free fall. We know this. Their stock prices are dropping. The Battlefront was a disaster. EA Battlefield 5 feels unfinished, though they're putting out updates, and it will get better, guys. But I think it's still a disaster at release, and not many people cared about it. So Anthem is their next big game. And as I was saying about how EA is destroying every studio they touch, dies. Are we seeing that with BioWare? Is EA demanding all these things and BioWare really wasn't, this is not their passion? I don't know. But when I see Anthem, I think it looks good, but it doesn't look amazing. That's the problem with Anthem. Realize this is BioWare and EA's next big game, and I'm not like ecstatic to play it. And I think it has to do with what I said while we were doing the stream. You know, that the designs of the suits and the world, it all feels kind of derivative. And when it feels derivative, the thing that can push your game further is to have really cool concept art and designs and suits. And I think they look average, you know. In my opinion, I've shit on Destiny a lot, but I think Destiny's loot and suits and armor and weapons, all this stuff looks cooler than in Anthem. And so if Anthem is having to rely on loot and suits and stuff to get people interested in its world, maybe there's a good story there, maybe there's not, but it's all that stuff that's going to get people interested. I just don't feel like it has the impact. And again here, it just lacked the impact on that trailer. However, we come to our first badass new trailer. This got us super excited. Check it. From the original creators of Fallout. Oh, and the developers of New Vegas. Oh, shit. Did I just see a space battle? That was just a cutscene. Hey, can you create? Oh, shit. Alien Life? No way. Is this going to be like Fallout New Vegas in space? Oh, yeah. We were ecstatic about this one. This is, and I'm already going to say this, that there's a ton of new IPs. And so I got to really thank Geoff, because that's a lot of work going out there. You know, Keighley, you know, be like, would you be willing to reveal your game at my show instead of E3, instead of at your own event, instead of on your own? So the fact that there were so many new IPs, that's a good thing. After the Outer Worlds, we got Last Campfire. Again, very beautiful looking game, great music, but I'm not sure if it's my kind of thing. But the next thing was Far Cry New Dawn, or as he says...
As you may remember, Far Cry 5 ended...
What did you call me?
To Far Cry.
Oh, shit, what did he say?
And
Far Cry.
as the creative
Far
director
Cry
of this
5,
new project,
bro.
it is my absolute pleasure to reveal to you Far Cry New
Fuck
Dawn.
High. What?
He's doing it on
New
purpose.
Dune. Fuck High New Dune. And we liken this a little bit to like Fallout 76. Oh shit, they said, hey, if Fallout 76 is gonna fuck it up, we're gonna step in and do it right. This is cooperative. If this shit is cooperative, it's the Fallout 76 replacement.
And the world
It's like, oh shit, maybe can this be Fallout 76? Almost like what we were talking about with the Outer Worlds a little bit. But of course, these games have been in development for years, so they had no idea that Fallout 76 would be this colossal disaster. And these two games might pick up the load where Fallout 76 had failed. Now, I don't know if Outer Worlds is multiplayer or Far Cry New Dawn, but I would imagine Far Cry New Dawn at least has some co-op, but we'll see what with the Outer Worlds. And so I was really encouraged by Far Cry New Dawn, but there was one thing that I noticed that I'm not sure I'm that into. Hey! That was cool. But I don't know what it is lately with all the neon, green, pink, blue stuff with it's Fortnite. Fortnite is, I guess, that look is infecting everything. It's like Call of Duty. Blackout, all the skins look like this shit. Rage 2 looks like this. What is all this pink? What do you call this style, Chad? I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think it's because Fortnite dominates everything, as I said. Another new game premiere trailer we got to talk about is Atlas. Done right? Is it Sea of Thieves done right? Oh shit! A fucking Hydra and a troll at the same. A hammerhead shark.
And what's that?
It's Sea of Thieves done better. Oh my god! I'm freaking out.
And we get Sextons finally.
Fucking fireballs and flip and fighting, pit fighting. What the fuck is this? What is it? This literally looks like what we should have got with Sea of Thieves. I got so freaking hyped when they show this game. Check it out. What is this? The Kraken is actually shown, Joe.
I want to see underneath.
The Kraken.
Underneath the water.
Underneath. Atlas! Open world survival set sail on December what? Okay, so I ran away with hype because guys, Sea of Thieves was to me going to be game of the year and it turned out to be not very good. You know what I'm saying? Lacking so much. This whole fucking live games as a service idea, it's just failing and I don't want people to become normalized by it. Anyways, but I got so excited and maybe I should calm down a little bit with it. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe it's not quite, I should dial it back a little bit.
What exactly
Sign my
is
ass!
Well, Atlas is a massive open-world survival MMO for 40,000 concurrent players in the same environment.
What?
It's a game about building an armada, claiming territory, building an empire, and ultimately dominating the entire globe.
Jesse, don't you fucking play with me,
how big
man.
is the map?
It's
You know who
really
you're
big.
fucking with?
The Atlas world is 1,200 times the size of a single ARC server.
Because it seems like it's promising the war. I'm like, no way, don't play with my heart kind of thing. But the Atlas was another really, really good one. And then, of course, we had Dragon Age. But I was so excited that there's another Dragon Age, but I couldn't quite remember. Wait, is that Solus or who is that? The wolf? Wait, who is this? Is that who I think it is kind of thing? And it is. But for people outside the Dragon Age franchise, do they even know what the fuck that trailer was? No, you have to know who that is and that hashtag and what it means. But that is Dragon Age, but we have no idea whether that's the next Dragon Age in a numbered series. Is it a spin-off? From that trailer, I have no freaking information, so it's hard to really get excited about something like that. But at least it was there. And then what else did we have? We had PUBG released some trailer with like a little bird and amazing graphics, and the game doesn't look like that. Moving on, Psychonauts 2 is exciting for fans of Psychonauts. I know nothing about it. We pretty much sort of talked over it. And then Rage 2, which actually had quite an impressive trailer, and this one is so important for Bethesda, and I talked a little bit about that here. Now, Bethesda didn't develop the game, but they published the game, so unfortunately, this game is going to receive the brunt of a little bit of extra scrutiny. since it's going to be the very next game, it's not very fair because Bethesda is publishing and they didn't develop it, but you know it's going to get that extra scrutiny. And that trailer was well put together. It looks like there's plenty to do in the world. It looks like it's fun. But yet again, it has that pink, green, blue, light baby blue style that a lot of games are doing these days, like Call of Duty, Black Ops, all the skins there is that, which, by the way, the microtransactions. Anyways, so that looks interesting. And then there's just... they talked about Devil May Cry 5, which looks good. Among Trees, Crash Team Racing. So now let's get into a little bit of some of the cringe. So you could tell what was advertisements, what actually helped made the show. I felt there was a lot more Sony advertising. Like Sony was putting more money into the show. So thank you, Sony, for that. And Xbox really wasn't doing a whole lot of advertising, at least in comparison. And one big one was the Crash Team Racing advertisement. Fortnite had something, but it fooled me. I really wanted a completely different looking game than what we got. I thought it was going to be like a Christmas themed, and that little art style from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer turned out to be a Fortnite update. Now, while a lot of people in my chat are hating on Fortnite and they make it a joke, it actually is, in my opinion, a good game. And it's a game where the developers, a little bit more, and unlike PUBG, actually, release new modes, constantly new modes. They're updating the game, putting stuff in the game. And so it's annoying to hear about, but these are guys that I think are doing it right. But it's just, damn, man, I wanted that game they showed at the beginning. You baited me 100%. It's a trap. And it was Fortnite, the Block, which for people like me, I'm completely confused on what the fuck it is. We had no idea. Porta potty. Block. So you'll have to explain it to us what the hell the Fortnite the Block is. So I don't think that trailer was effective or the reveal was very effective. Of course, they had Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, a huge announcement. So there was a lot of DLC trailers. I'm probably going to miss a lot of things, guys. Anyway, few DLC trailers. All the DLC trailers were real kind of disappointing. Like, oh, hey, Rocket League has a fucking McLaren. And hey, Forza has this, or this car is here. And it's like, okay, cool. But then... Super Smash Bros. Ultimate reveals that they are doing Persona 5 with Joker. My chat went wild, and me and Joe are like, we have no idea what. Like we played a little bit of it, but we're on the outside looking in, and we saw this massive hype. So apparently, it was one of the biggest announcements there. And when I look at it, even myself as a game reviewer, this game has fucking everybody in it. Super Smash is probably out right now. It's coming out, so everybody's going to play this. And then I even acknowledge that that Nintendo is lifting their YouTube ban. All these fucking... And I tell a story about Reggie. So I saw Reggie when I was
to give the fans the opportunity to summon a persona
sort of
into the
intimidated
game.
because, I talked
Amazing.
a lot of shit
All
about
right,
Nintendo.
so
and
then you said
looked
Challenger
at me,
Pack
he
1, so these are the
recognized me.
DLC
And I was thinking
fighters
about
that will
going
come
up
out.
to him
Correct.
and talking to him
And so
about
this
his
gives
YouTube
you a
policy,
flavor of how we're
but that's
approaching the
Nintendo
DLC.
Japan.
So the
Nintendo
DLC, there's going to
America
be
has
5
always been on our
characters, each
side.
character.
So YouTube is lifting their ban on this kind of stuff, and then that is going to allow us, if we want to, if we choose to, I'm already so busy with some of the things, to add Nintendo games to our repertoire and then not get claimed to death like I got with my Zelda review, and I had to have you guys go and tell Reggie and tell everybody in order to get it unclaimed. So I'm not going to give them too many props for that because honestly, that's what they should have been doing with all the other companies. So you can't really, but at least I celebrate the fact that they've come to their senses in Nintendo Japan, as Nintendo America has always known about. So Super Smash, super exciting stuff. Where is Waluigi? I agree.
Show for me to be.
So overall, and now we get to the award stuff. So he has addressed a lot of the criticisms that I had before. Best performances, that you could legitimately see. Arthur Morgan won for Red Dead, and when he went up on stage and started talking, we were like, what? Or does he sound just like him normally?
I guess this is the part where words that make sense are supposed to
Holy
come out
shit!
of my mouth.
That's just his voice!
I humbly accept this honor, especially in light of the amazing performances
Oh, he's
of my
got
fellow
an
nominees.
accent. I was like, holy shit, he's not even from the South. He's not even from the United States. He's got a thick accent. I'm like, that is a performance. That is extra hard to do. And, you know, you felt like he earned it. And I was like, okay, that was a much better choice than Megan Fox from Transformers. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I was happy about that. And then other things is the numerous categories. One thing I try to rib him on and grill him on. Why didn't you include this category? And honestly, that was probably me as a younger, not realizing that, I mean, that show is going to be fucking 6 hours long if you want that. And people are going to tune out. You really can't have any longer than 3 hours. In fact, my opinion is like 2 hours is kind of like the perfect thing. But so you can't really have it too long. And so there were categories where he read off real quick. Now, on the outside looking at it, it's like that sucks, especially if you're a fan of those categories or you're a fan of those studios or games and you want to see the person. But at least it's in there. At least he put it in the show and not on the website where it's all hidden. And it's like, oh, well, actually, Joe, they did have that category this year. It was on the website.
Or, for example, like a fighting game is missing this year as well when you have 4 categories for music games. Best soundtrack, best music game, best original score.
I like that they put it in the show, and it did feel a little rushed, but I really don't see any other way to do it. So I'm happy that it was at least in there, and a bunch of smaller people got to win. Though a lot of Red Dead took that. So Red Dead took a ton of the awards this time.
Which one are you picking? Hurry!
I haven't lost yet.
Pick
Red Dead every time.
The award goes to
Red Dead.
Okay,
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, what?
Red Dead Redemption 2. It's having a pretty good night.
Shocker!
All right, for best art direction.
The in-between musical performances. I thought it started off a little rocky with some of these bands. Some of the music kind of cringy, but actually it grew on me a little bit, right? At least that song. You know what? I like this song.
It'll probably sound better not live.
It sounds better now. That there was like a part of the song where it got lost. Now she's found the groove. I don't know about you guys, but I like, and I think Joe does too, when we're driving around Spotify, we like heavy metal or real nice good riffs and drums, but with female vocals. But then when in the third act, the show really was firing on all cylinders. You had the Red Dead song, and I was like, oh my God, I get to see the guy singing it. This song is so good. And then they brought out Super Smash Ultimate, and I was like, oh, Smash. And this, I was like, okay, so these are the, and then I was thinking to myself, this is what you have to do. Take the best songs of all the year and put them in there. Don't take bands that we don't know of or people I haven't heard of and put them in there. I know it's a spotlight show and you want to give some spotlight to some of these other bands and things. But that would be the best way to do it is just taking all the best songs. Like, I even like the Fallout 76. I made that joke. Fallout doesn't deserve to be anywhere on that stage. But that one Fallout song is just so thematic. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, you know from my Fallout review. Okay, so the music performances, on the whole, done well. The action, even the bands that you didn't like, you could tell they were jamming out. They were working their asses off to make you like them. Other bands are sitting there, but these people were out there. You had the violin chick, which Joe really liked and I liked. You had the chick on the guitar, and so it was great. It was awesome, and they showed them multiple times, by the way, and so we liked that. So music performances, good. The jokes in between, I really like the Muppet. What is his name? Like Pepe or the shrimp of Muppet with Ninja. And you injected so much life into the show. It's like if the show is going to be cringy, if the show is going to be, monotone and boring, this Pepe character added so much. So I was like, oh my gosh, bring more of these. I want the whole show to be run by Muppets or announced by Muppets. Bring Triumph, the insult dog. Bring some more of that. These comedians, it's their freaking job, and they're good at it. So I liked that routine, though I thought he repeated his jokes a little bit with the selfie stuff, but still, that he did with Ninja, I think it worked out pretty good. And then finally, I guess this video is going to be 3 hours long, so let's condense it here. Throughout the night, Red Dead was winning a ton. They won so many categories that they deserve. Definitely for music, direction, all these different things that they were winning. But at the end of the night, when it came to the most big award, and the most important award, the one that people pay attention to, was Game of the Year. And I was like, Red Dead. It has to be Red Dead. And I was like, God of War, for sure. But Red Dead came out, you know what I mean? And so we all thought Red Dead, and it was announced God of War won. So it was a big upset. We were like, whoa. But it wasn't one of those upsets where we're looking at each other like, seriously, that won Game of the Year? Like in previous years? Do y'all remember the games that won Game of the Year in previous years? Look them all up. There are some legitimate ones, obviously. But when this Game Awards show first started, I think there were some ones that were winning awards. Like, I don't know, King Kong, I think, won one year. It might have been for some category. It's been a long time, guys. But, so I was like, so this is an upset that still kind of makes sense. Those were the two heavy hitters, and I was like, either one of those could win. And I think Red Dead probably could have won and probably deserved to win. But, if you look at Red Dead, the prologue kind of slowed down the game. After that Cuba mission, it kind of was dragging along, whereas God of War was a complete story from start to finish, and it really didn't have that hard of, pacing issues. Even though at the end of God of War, you're like, oh my God, I want to play that. Why can't I play against Thor? Why can't I do more God of War 2? It does get you excited for God of War 2. And I think what happened is Red Dead did retread a lot of the ground that John Marston did with Arthur Morgan, just slightly differently. And so the creative points, maybe not quite there. But you can make the argument that God of War is retreading some of the stuff. But no, it was in a different mythology and separated and stuff, a continuation of the story. So, anyways, God of War won. I ain't mad that it won. It was an upset pick, but I was like, wow, awesome. Because we've talked with Corey on Twitter. He knows the Angry Joe Show. I'm so freaking happy for him. We've even had discussions about Superman and what his ideas would be if he made a Superman game. I was holding out hope. There were two games that would be announced there. A new Aliens game never happened. I think Worlds Will Change was the tagline for the Game Awards. So I was kind of hoping that Worlds, Wayland Yutani maybe. And Jeff Keighley tweeted at Kojima when Kojima was like at an Aliens boardroom, but I guess that was a red herring. There was no Aliens game, though I hope there will be in the future. There is. Studio's already working on a new Aliens game. And then there was the I thought maybe a Superman game from Rocksteady, but I think Rocksteady recently confirmed there will be no Superman game. I don't know. But I got to talk about something. I can't believe I forgot. I got to say, Mortal Kombat was my top. So from all of the games there that shown off, Mortal Kombat from the trailers, I can't believe I missed this. I was saving it for last. Is Mortal Kombat 11 was announced there. Ed Boon comes out and he shows a continuation of the storyline. Raiden's evil. He's fighting Scorpion. Scorpion is fucking killed, but then Scorpion shows up again and they have another fight. You can see X-rays are kind of still there, which is good. But I was so confused by this, and I think chat cleared it up, and some of the press releases that have come out afterwards is it's custom character creation. Or no, I don't think you create your own characters. Well, that would be sweet. But what the wording is on it, the characters you can customize. So basically, think Injustice with all those pieces and things that you can customize your fighters. You're going to be able to do that within the Mortal Kombat universe, and it's going to continue the storyline. I was super hyped. I was like, I knew it. I knew this was coming. It wasn't at the last E3. I knew it was going to be at the next E3, but I did not expect Geoff to land this, and he got the big reveal of one of my favorite franchises of all time, Mortal Kombat. So that was number one for me on the trailers. And then, so yeah, I probably missed a ton of things, guys. You know, I was kind of hoping for maybe Titanfall or Borderlands 3, an Avengers game. We didn't get those, but I think, you know, it's not like Geoff can get every single fucking game announcement. You know what I mean? You have to really realize what the game awards are. It's this one guy going around utilizing his relationships and his friendships and his sponsors in order to get this thing going and saying, do you guys want to show this off? Could you please show this off and try to make an excitement about the gaming industry at the end of the year as a celebration? And in that way, it works. It's been getting better year after year since 8 years ago. And are there cringe moments? Yes, they were all over the place. One of the big ones that let's talk about cringe moments. So we talked a little bit about Crash Bandicoot. I'm sure I'm missing a ton.
Guess all I gotta really say is that I'm gay,
Wow.
black, a furry, pretty much everything a Republican hates, and the best esports player of the year, I guess. Thank you so much.
That's funny, man. That's just funny. You can tell it's genuine. He's just talking. I mean, obviously, it's a lot of cringe in there, but still, it's genuine, and I gotta respect it. Good for him. But one of the big ones was Xbox. They show something, or the way Geoff sort of hypes up some games, it kind of fell flat a few times.
Oh, good. No, that literally just happened in the game, right, Donald?
So what you just saw was the emergence of the block. So the block is a new space where we will be featuring the best.
Hey, and he knows I gotta give criticisms there. I was like, no, there's really nothing there. And you could see Geoff kind of taking his shots. Though he has to take his shots very carefully. You know, he asked Xbox, hey, you guys are having, you know, how about this year for Xbox? Or I forget exactly what he said. Maybe I'm misremembering. But what it did is it put Xbox on the spot. And so Xbox had to be like, yeah, we had a good year. Great. It could have been better. Xbox,
How's
let's see what
18
they
been
got.
going for you guys?
Yeah, we had a pretty good year. We can do better. We had a pretty good year.
Okay.
Added some studios, shipped some good games. Sea of Thieves shipped, State of Decay. Forza Horizon was great to see Forza Horizon 4 win an award. Shipped the adaptive controller this last year, something I'm very proud of.
Yep.
Damn, that's
It's been a good year, and news coming about Xbox. We saw the guys from...
That was cringy as hell because Xbox had the worst year. A horrible year. I mean... And he even listed off the games. What games did they have? Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2. These are two disappointments, right? And then I list Forza. Forza's always solid, but again, very niche. And then he said Game Pass. That is one of the stronger things. You know, you don't have to pay quite so much money. Of course, it's a digital service. You have to become a subscriber, but it's been working on that system. And then he's like, 2019, you know, we got some exciting stuff, but I don't think 2019 is going to be the year of the Xbox. Honestly, guys, a prediction right here. There will be some solid titles, I think. And it'll be stronger than this year. It has to be stronger than 2018 because this is one of their worst years. Xbox has clearly lost the console war. If you think they won the console war, you're an idiot. You have no idea. You're completely a fanboy. They straight up lost, right? But that doesn't disqualify them from 2020 when the new consoles come out. I don't know what the Xbox Next is called. Xbox Sapphire, I think, or something like that, with the AMD chipset technology. Same thing with the PS5 is also AMD chipset. But I think these are going to be 4K consoles, 60 frames per second, and hopefully backwards compatibility. And maybe at that time, I want to see Xbox return to glory. Because remember, I was an Xbox fanboy until what happened. And then I switched to PS4, and I think PS4, and then I picked right. Okay, Joe picks winners. And they won this generation. But I do want Xbox to come back hard. I want them to be a heavy hitter because it's good for the industry. And I'm excited to see what they do bring out in 2020. But I haven't turned on that fucking console in like 2 years. Okay, I turned it on for Halo and nothing because everything is on PC. Oh, Cuphead. Joe reminded me earlier. Cuphead. So like that's literally the only 2 times I turn on my Xbox. The rest, all I do all my work here on the PC, so it's a little different for me. It's a little easier. And then the PS4 exclusives, which have been completely on fire, and you Xbox guys can't deny it. So, wrapping this up because this has already gone on way too long, guys. And I just wanted to do a little vlog update. I think my history with Geoff is we started off, we butted heads way back then in 8 years. He's improved the show since then. I've realized that he's a really genuine, good guy, caring guy. Yes, he's got the PR smile. Yes, he's got that aura about him, but it's because he has to walk this fine line. And so Geoff is a good guy. He's very easy to make fun of. Don't get me wrong. Doritos Pope and all that stuff, but if you actually meet him in person, you see another side of him. So, do I think he did a good job on the awards? Yes, I do. I think that the Game Awards is getting better every year. Do I think this Game Awards was the best of all time or where it needs to be? Not exactly. It's getting better every year. But I tell you what, that third act, the last part of the show is hitting on all cylinders. You know what I'm saying?
Boy.
Boy.
He's going to do it.
Do it. Do it.
Red boy.
Yeah! Read it, boy. And while he didn't have some of these major big-ass fucking titles, though, of course, he did have a few. I mean, he had, Far Cry you could consider big. Dragon Age you can consider big, but really not that much there. Anthem is kind of big, but again, that was Anthem's fault that didn't hype that trailer up too. It just didn't have the impact. I actually like it, the fact that all the trailers he showed was new IPs, a ton of new IPs. You got Scavengers, you got Hades, you got Ancestors, you got Outer Worlds. Anthem can be considered a new IP. The Last Campfire, Atlas. There's one other that I'm forgetting. And then, of course, your sequels to the more well-known games. So, much better show this year. You might disagree. And I know it's more of an extravaganza as compared to, game developers awards and some of these other low-key shows, which are great too. But I'm happy that we can all get together and talk about games and celebrate games in a little bit better way. So I'm willing to forgive some, if not a lot, of the cringe moments that were there. Some of the presenters, I knew Ninja was going to win. Like, I bet $100 on it. Of course, I won that. Ninja was going to win. And notice how they were all Fortnite. Every single one was Fortnite. I wasn't able to make the show, again, related to my family. Geoff invited me out, but I something happened this year I'm not ready to share. And so I just wanted to live stream and retweet his stuff and support that show in that way. So I couldn't make it this year. I saw Jack was out there and Pokey. These two people, I've met both of them, and they're extremely nice, and I'm happy that they were up there. Ninja, of course, was up there as well because he won, and I was like, and I knew he was gonna win. Geoff let it slip. Geoff, when you do like, hey, who's the best content creator? You can't do like a pre-promo where it's like, we got Ninja in the audience and a bunch of other creators.
Content Creator of the Year is coming up. And let's see what the Twitch poll is predicting. It looks like people are predicting that Ninja is going to win that one with 49% of the vote. We'll find out. Ninja's in the house along with many other content creators. All right, well, next up, Warframe.
Because both because you didn't name any other creators. You only named Ninja. You knew Ninja was going to win. You have to hype it up. You have to be like with Ninja, Shroud, Dr. Disrespect. You name these big fucking names, even though they're not sitting there, to get people away. Maybe not win. Maybe those other ones could win, But I knew Ninja was gonna win there. But yeah, so okay, guys, I gotta stop there. It's 40 minutes now, so thank you so much for watching. That's my opinion on the Game Awards. Overall positive. I think for what it is, Geoff going out there and putting this together, yes, it's cringy, but it's gotten better over the years, is my main point about it. And I really enjoyed it towards the end. And I thought that it was cool seeing a lot of the developers, Corey out there, and a lot of them, especially the music, some of these favorite tracks that really stick in your mind after you play these things. So, well done, great job, and I'm looking forward to making this a regular thing and seeing what the opinion is of these, the panel holders and the audience on these different games. Of course, we'll do our own top 10 lists, but those usually come out around January, so we can give a little bit of a chance to some of the rest of these games as they come out. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. Link is in the description below. You know what it is. All right, so thank you very much for watching. We shall see you on the next Angry Joe show. Up next, I think we're doing like a Battlefield extended review because you guys really enjoyed the Fallout extended review, and then we'll continue on with the rest of the games this year. Okay? Okay, bye, guys. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.